Hey, gentlemen, I think we're live.
Just a little bit.
And we're live, or at the very least, undead.
And we're off.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Greetings and salutations, my wonderful freaks. I am your Uncle Necro, and I welcome you all to the Tomb of the Terrible, the show in which I get to lovingly assault your senses with B-movie madness.
Hello, my lovelies, and welcome back to another episode of Uncle Necro's Tomb of the Terrible. I have a computer back. We can get the show up and running again and enjoy watching terrible movies together. Today we have Chaos. We can actually see Chaos. And we have the Rod. Hi, gentlemen.
Yeah, we can actually see chaos, and now we wish we couldn't. It's the triumphant return of Uncle Necro's Tomb of the Terrible after the God knows how long the hiatus was due to technical difficulties. I'm sure it was a much needed break for all of us. Consider it the mid-season break before we start back with our insanity.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now we can get the ship rolling. Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
Not dead.
Although I feel like it. Wow. I suppose during the break it has been rather chaotic, hectic, a lot of energy spent, and we're in the middle of haunt season. So I've been very busy on the weekends. Writing has kind of gotten pushed to the side in the meantime, but I've still been working to try to get the second book out. A lot going on there. So my whole mental energy has just been up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. I feel like it's just been this massive roller coaster, like a King's Island or something. It's just I have my Christmas break coming up. I've got 3 weeks off. I'm so looking forward to it. You have no idea.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway,
I
here we
totally
are.
understand that. We are on fall break with our kids here in Texas. And I'm just happy to be here with you, gentlemen. I've got a computer back. My heart decided it will let me continue, and we can do this. And you said you're alive?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not dead.
So, gentlemen, was this your first time seeing this movie?
Chaos?
No, I've seen it once before, literally years and years ago. But it's probably been my first time watching it in a good, probably almost 20 years. Or at least that's what it feels like.
Yeah, I'd say it's been at least 30 since I've watched it.
I feel old. Okay, I'm over it.
What about you, Ron?
When I first heard the title, I thought for certain that I had seen this movie before. Maybe I was in high school, maybe I was in college, something like that. But I felt for some reason like I had seen this movie before. But then when I started watching, I'm like, this does not look familiar at all. And I don't think I've seen this before. So I have to say that, yes, I believe this was my first time watching it.
Yeah, okay.
But I guess it's just
Um,
that kind of movie, or maybe it's the title of the movie that makes me think that. Like it's something I would have watched when I was in high school or college.
it's
It doesn't make it any
definitely
better, though.
feels like one of those movies we would have watched. Okay. What were things that you liked about it, the Ron?
What about first impressions?
Oh yeah, I forgot first. Yeah, what were your first impressions? I am that dead. What were
It's
your
been a
first
while since we've
impressions,
done
Ron?
this, so you're allowed a little leeway.
Oh yeah, it's
Um,
good.
my first impressions, when I started watching it, and all of the characters are rather two-dimensional. They're what I consider like character archetypes. They're supposed to meet a specific type of character, and they don't really stray so much from that. Even the main character, whose name I cannot remember, I want to say Mike.
Tony.
Uh, what was it?
Tony.
Billy? Tony. Yeah, Tony. Um, even he, at the end of, with a character arc, you expect the character to have some kind of maturity, uh, to change in some way, or to have an epiphany or a realization, uh, something like that. But he goes the entire movie and never really happens. He's just as two-dimensional at the end of the movie as he is at the beginning. So I watched this entire movie, and my first impression was this movie's really kind of held together by a string. There's not a lot to it, and I feel like it's the kind of thing where, people on set are asking, "Okay, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? What's the next shoot? What's the next scene?" And the director's like, "Just do it and try not to put too much thought into it because the viewer's not going to care." You know? It's like the kind of date night movie where you put it on and then you completely forget about it while you're engaged in other activities.
Yeah,
I think that's what this movie is for.
it has a loose comedic plot.
So far, the movie almost seemed like let's see how many corny jokes we can make in this allotted time frame it takes us to make this movie. Because
And
it was almost
there are
just
many.
one corny joke right after the other, different references and stuff throughout the entirety of the movie.
Yeah. And it seemed weird to see Alan Arkin with full colored hair. Because I'm so used to him having the grayer and whiter hair. And here he's so young. Yeah, I agree with all of those. And it was made to try to be funny, but not go too far. Okay, now that we've done first impressions, I will get back in the groove at some point, guys. Just not this episode. What were things that you liked about the movie?
Go ahead, Cass.
I will admit I liked some of the corny jokes in it. Like near the beginning. What? Why don't you read my head? Oh, oh, I think it's Romanians read hands. Head. We read hands. And then she reads his hands, is all disappointed. It's like it's a crap book.
It's
Did
it's
you
a pretty
remember
good
anything?
foretelling of what's going to happen in the movie, though.
Yeah.
What about you,
So, yeah.
Ron? Or do you
What
have
did I
anything else?
like? Yeah. Do you have anything else?
I'm good.
No,
No.
that's it. That was the only part of the movie you liked.
Some of the I just wrote. I liked some of the corny jokes. That's about the size of it.
I would say some of the things that I did like about it was that despite how corny it was and the fact that the movie does not take itself very seriously, uh, they do a pretty good job at holding the plot together. I mean, it is a feasible storyline, even if somewhat loosely executed. It's still a fairly feasible storyline. Quick plot synopsis: our main character Tony, now that you refresh my memory, uh, he and his very militant father, who supposedly works for the State Department or Department of Defense, is supposed to be going to Transylvania to do some negotiations. His father is very militant and a skirt chaser. Doesn't really care about much of anything else in the name of negotiating. Uh, so while the father's getting busy in a hotel room with two representatives of the country, Tony is out. He gets lost and ends up getting mauled by supposedly the werewolf, which you never actually see because it all kind of happens off camera, and you only figure it out after he gets back to the hotel room, and there's not a lot of damage to him or anything like that. Then, of course, it comes to light that he's destined to be immortal until he finishes whatever it is that will break the curse on him. But he doesn't know what that is at the time. So he's going around killing people left and right, supposedly, since none of this ever actually happens on screen. It's all situational. Going around killing people. 20 years have passed. It's now the 80s. Times have changed, and he realizes that he needs to go back to school and win that football game that he never got to finish playing. So he goes back under the guise that he's his own son, enrolls back in the school and gets back on the football team, and so he can play that last game. Ends up sleeping with the what's a good way to put it? A librarian in the streets, but a freak in the sheets.
Yeah.
I think would be the best way to put it. Yeah, she's freaky, and so just it's all kind of vanity until it gets to the final game when they're still trying. He tries to have himself locked up, like don't and the weird. What was he? The FBI agent, very stodgy, by the book and all that, and just like I said, everybody is just a character archetype. There's no real character arc throughout this entire movie, but somehow it all seems to hold together. Nobody goes through like any great personality change. They're still the same people at the end of the movie as they are throughout the entire movie, but the situation gets resolved. It's very funny. It all comes together at the end, and it's a it's a satisfying ending, in my opinion, with the way that they handled it. So, you can kind of walk away from this movie like that was very dumb, but for some reason I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
It's that kind of movie.
it's
Oh,
um,
and it is said throughout in the movie he never actually killed anybody. He always just either bit their ankle or, in a lot of people's case, bit their butt.
Well, that
He was
reeks of
an
all kinds of fetish right there.
as
Yeah.
he stated, he's a nipper. So
All
yeah,
right, what about you, Jenny?
mm, Alan Arkin, of course. It had a plot that it stayed to pretty darn well. Um, it was a dumb comedy that you didn't have to brain through.
Well, it was not American Werewolf in London, and it was not Teen Wolf.
Yeah, but yeah,
It's a
I
little
still
lower on the
say,
totem pole than either of those movies.
uh,
and I don't care how old he gets, Adam Arkin, I mean. Adam Arkin is definitely one of the more cuddly actors. I love Alan Arkin too. He was in the movie. Both of them were in the movie, oddly enough. But anyway, Adam Arkin was definitely great. So yeah, okay, gentlemen, what were things that you did not like?
Go ahead, Chaos.
I would have to say a there were certain bits in the in the in the movie where they drugged them out too much. Especially the random violinist.
That's a running gag through the whole movie, though, because you
Yeah.
never see the violinist himself. You just hear
Well,
it in the background, and you don't know if it's part of his psyche or if it's really there.
See him once.
you actually see the violinist a couple of times. You see the violinist during the first wolf attack when the wolf attacks him. Well, the violinist's hands anyway. And then you actually see the violinist at the near the end of the movie when the very odd psychiatrist is sitting there listening to it and sits there and tips the violinist. And then continues on what he's doing during the riot at the game.
Tony's the only one that ever really reacts to him, though. So nobody
Well,
else ever actually acknowledges the violinist until that point.
until the end of the movie when the psychiatrist tips the violinist.
Another
And
thing,
then,
nobody ever questions the existence of werewolves. They just take
no,
it as fact that okay, he's a werewolf. All right, yeah.
his dad's like, the commies turned my son into a werewolf. I don't know how they did it. Maybe it was the fluoride because them teeth ain't natural. It's supposed to be good for your teeth, and those teeth ain't natural.
Jenny, are you
Yeah.
messing with our name plates? They keep changing.
Yeah, I got tired of the blue. I am tired of the blue, so we're gonna do the teal.
We're doing green. A very weird green.
Yeah, I can
Not
see that.
that
It's
though.
kind of it's like my clown character at the haunt. My clown characters are colors are black and green, so that's very close.
brutal. So, therefore, what what were the things you didn't like? Is there a Ron rant?
I would say that there could be a Ron rant if it weren't for the fact that it's been over a month since I watched this movie, and I don't really remember all of the details. And if I had had more time to go back and watch this movie, knowing that I was going to be doing this tonight, then there probably would be a lot more Ron rant than there is. I'm trying to dredge all of this stuff from the basement of my memories of having been shoved down by all the other stuff on top of it. Um,
Your memory warehouse has been rearranged since then.
yeah, something like that with everything else that's going on. But ironically, I think Chaos kind of hit on it because I was about to say the same thing, that I felt like there were some parts of it that were dragged out. They do kind of a montage of the years passing with going from the nip to nipper. He's not really killing people; he's just nipping at them. They do kind of a montage to show the passage of time, and they probably could have marginalized that down just a little bit. Just completely skipped over it. Went 20 years later, on the screen, or 25 years later, and then done a exposition monologue to state what all has transpired since that time, just to get the audience up to par to present day. But in the same vein, it's also kind of funny, at the same time, for the comedic effect to have it play out, doing the montage like that. So that's okay. The girl that has the hots for Tony, I want to say Janie. She's kind of annoying, but again, she's a character archetype. I feel like out of all the people that could have had a character arc in the movie where they changed dynamically to become a better person or have an epiphany or a realization, she actually would have been the best character for it to have happened to. I think that once Tony disappears, she ends up marrying the guy that she never wanted to have anything to do with, and then they had a kid that neither one of them really seemed to care about. They could give a rat's ass about the kid, but she doesn't really change, because as soon as Tony comes back into the picture, she's like, "You're you're over there," So none of them really had a character arc, and I think she, of all of the characters in the movie, would have been the one that would have made the most sense for the character arc to happen to. I thought the psychiatrist, he was amusing because he was so deadpan and droll the whole time. He reminded me of what was that cartoon? Duckman with the pig.
Mm-hmm.
What was the pig's name on Duckman?
Can't remember for the life of me, to be honest.
He reminds me of that character, the very stodgy, like FBI type pig character from Duckman. I cannot remember his name, but that's kind of who he reminds me of. So another great character archetype like that. But just the overall drawing the things out, and the fact that there were no character arcs, and then at the end everything just sort of goes chaotic and haywire, and like, yeah, it ends, but it's not like a real definitive ending, because they left it to where, okay, if this movie does really well, we can have a sequel, but I don't think there ever was. So it's like, we need an ending, but maybe.
Exactly.
So, like I said, it's the story's held together by a thread.
Yeah.
And somehow it manages.
I agree wholeheartedly. The pig's name is Corn-Fed. And
Corn-Fed, that's it. Man. Like I told you, my brain's all, all the memories are being squashed down. Everything else that's on top of it.
Yeah, you're exhausted and tired, and haunting takes a lot out of you, and then you worked all day. So, yeah. I can't add anything to what these gentlemen said. I agree wholeheartedly with both of them. I think my least favorite character was Janie, that girlfriend that wouldn't stop.
I did like although I do have to say this, I like the bus driver / cab driver.
He shows up a couple of times in the movie too.
He shows up twice. He shows up on the whole bus situation, and then
he's driving the cab in the 80s when Tony comes back.
Yeah, starts yelling at him for ruining his life and stealing his bus.
Yeah, $87,000 sucked.
What comes around goes around.
Yeah.
Did you gentlemen have anything else to add?
My cat might. She's over here meowing.
Okay. Ori, we love you. Okay, we're going to have the ad break, and we're going to enjoy more Ori afterwards. Because we'll be right back. Let's roll that beautiful fade footage.
Greetings and shabibans. We are the Retro Reductibus Cephala Podcast, a long-form bi-weekly show that celebrates all the things that made growing up awesome.
Yeah, that sounds good, but I don't know what all those words mean.
I think what Parasite Steve's trying to say is that on Retro Reductibus, we explore a range of retro goodness, from toys, video games, and movies, to cartoons, and even snacks and school lunches.
Oh. And we do it all with a positive spin, a slew of killer guests, and some very adult language.
And you know what else is cool?
No.
This crazy show is part of the Dorking Podcast Network with new episodes every Tentacle Tuesday.
What's that?
And if waiting 2 weeks for a new episode gives you a sad, know that we drop bonus episodes all the time, like the off-format Crow's Nest and an interview series we call The Brig.
You can listen to Retro Reductibus on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or any app that's cool enough to carry the only show that celebrates all the things that make growing up awesome.
Hello, and welcome back to the show. We're going to do things a little bit differently than usual. because I think we're all exhausted. So I'm going to limit the reviews that we read tonight to our favorite reviewer, BNS About Movies, from their Larry Cohen week in 2018, and our reviews about the movie. Because I think we're all just tired and ready to get through October. But we're all enjoying October. The haunts are epic, so please remember to go to your local haunt. And for those who do haunt, we appreciate
Come to Hell's
you for
Dungeon.
haunting.
Come to Hell's Dungeon. Plug, plug.
Yeah, come to Hell's Dungeon. Come to Jenner's Field of Screams. And any other haunt you can get to. But definitely, those two are awesome. Texas Maze of Terror is awesome. And
the haunt
Gothic Jail
Gothic
After
Jail
Dark.
in Louisiana.
Gothic Jail After Dark are our two closest haunts.
And since you're in Texas, I'll give a shout out to Spooked on Spurlock.
Oh yeah,
for Candy Jonker's haunt. She's a home haunt. So check out Spooked on Spurlock.
Yeah, because we got Haunted Maze in Vidor, Texas. And we got the Gothic Jail After Dark in DeRidder, Louisiana.
And I can't for the life of me remember which town Spurlock is in, but we will continue sharing them, like always, because yes. But anyway, back to what we need to be doing. Gentlemen, how many footballs do you give this movie? And would you recommend it to others? Joshy? Chaos?
I'll give it about five-ish, because it was good. It just, there was a lot of gags that they let drag on way too long that they could have toned back on and turned into. It probably would have helped.
Definitely. Ron and Ori, what do you two think?
Well, I don't think Ori watched it, so she may not have an opinion. Right? Okay. But me, I'll give it a 5, but not for the same reason. I'll give it 5 footballs. Not for the same reason as Chaos, though, because, like I said before, I think it's kind of a middle of the road movie. I mean, it's not exceptionally great, but it's not too terribly bad either. It's watchable. So, if you are looking for a movie that you can put in the background for a date night and focus on other things, a la Netflix and chill, then this be a good movie to do so because, you have the movie on, but you're not really concerned about whether or not you watch it. So it's good for that kind of background ambiance. And I think that 5 being middle of the road is a decent score for it. I think they froze. And I'm just going to have to carry the show on by myself and keep everybody entertained until they come back. But that's okay. So, Jenny, what did you think about the movie? Oh, thanks, Ron. I will give the movie a 7 out of 10 because I love werewolf movies, and this was everything I could ever possibly want out of a werewolf movie. It was way better than Teen Wolf. It was way better than American Werewolf in London. It was way better than the entire Howling series combined. It's just that kind of movie. But don't take my word for it. You just have to go out and watch it for yourself. And with that in mind, then, one other thing. There are more than one way to kill a werewolf. Silver bullets, obviously, everybody knows that. But if you ever watched the movie The Monster Squad about the teens that have to contend with Dracula and Frankenstein and the Mummy and the Wolfman, this is one of those questions that they ask in the movie. How many ways are there to kill a werewolf? And obviously, silver bullets, everybody knows that one. Now, oddly enough, they never actually divulge what the other ways to kill a werewolf are. I am inclined to think that another way you could kill a werewolf would be to cut off its head.
What to think?
Because it's not like a vampire that can regenerate. If you can cut off its head and keep it far enough away from the body, then I think ultimately the werewolf would die once the daylight comes and the moon is no longer out. And it transforms back into a human with no head, is going to die. So, yes, there's more than one way to kill a werewolf. Oh, and now that we have Friday and Chaos back, we can actually continue with the rest of the show. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being patient and dealing with our technical difficulties. Now, back to you in the studio, Bob.
Exactly.
Hi, Bob.
You know,
you'll have no idea what I said, do you?
You were explaining ways that you figured you could kill a werewolf. And we got in on the part where the head was chopped off and kept far away from the body. Now, from that, I figure I'll find out later. Let's see. I would give it 5 footballs also because
I was close.
It.
How far off were you?
You see, Jenny, I did your whole review for you while you were gone. But I said that you gave it 7 out of 10 footballs.
Oh, I didn't like it that much. Adam Arkin, maybe.
You're off by 2.
Adam Arkin would get the 7. Okay.
I was being generous.
The movie itself gets the 5 because it was not a bad movie. It was not a great movie. And
it was a movie. That's about it.
We watched the movie that was not anywhere near as bad as the a lot of the Amityville movies that we saw. So yes,
that's true.
And it wasn't Prey.
Well, we may get to do Prey 2 soon.
Oh, dear
but
God,
let's read DNS About Movies review, and then we will spin the wheel and do our end spiels because Wednesday's going to be good and Friday's going to be good. Okay. 4 years before Teen Wolf and 24 years after I was a teenage werewolf, Larry Cohen wrote and produced and directed Full Moon High, a comedic take on what it'd be like to be a werewolf in high school. Ironically, it came out at the same time as American Werewolf in London, covering some of the same ground but from a very different perspective. A tie to Michael London's werewolf turned into the opening turn is that the opening of this film in the 1950s. Tony Walker, Adam Arkin, Halloween H2O, is a high school football player whose dad, Colonel William Walker, Ed McMahon, is in the CIA. He takes his son with him to Romania for a secret mission where he'll shove some microfilm up his own ass. Yes, if you ever wanted to see Johnny Carson's sidekick yell things like, "Did you get laid?" and act like he's being butt plugged, then this is the film for you. Tony gets his palm read by a gypsy while his dad is having sex with a prostitute. Yes, this is a comedy. And finds out that he'll be an eternal doom. He'll be an eternal doomed to wander the earth. Soon he will return home to find his destiny, and he shouldn't make any plans during the full moon. On his way back to the hotel, Tony is killed by a werewolf and returns from the dead the next morning. On their way back to the U.S., Cuban terrorists hijack the plane, but Tony transforms into a werewolf and takes them out. However, Tony's curse keeps him too distracted to play football, so he misses the big game and costs his school the championship. He also starts to hide from his girlfriend Jane, Roz Kelly, New Year's Eve, as he's worried that he will kill her. His dad is convinced that Tony is a neighbor's dog until he catches him transforming and tries to shoot his son. The bullet ricochets and kills the colonel, and Tony skips town after the funeral. The film descends into pathos here. Not the last time it'll happen, as Tony wanders the earth for 25 years before returning home. It's just in time, as Tony's football team hasn't scored a touchdown since he left town. His old girlfriend Jane is married to his old friend Flynn and still calls out his name during sex. She figures out that Tony Jr., as he calls himself, as he returns to town, is really Tony, and she's fine with having sex with a werewolf. There's also Ricky, Joanne Nail, the visitor, a high school girl who falls for him. Oh yeah, and Tony goes full werewolf and kills his principal before turning himself in. His court-appointed shrink, Dr. Brand, Adam Arkin's dad, Alan, really wants to conduct experiments on Tony, but acts like he's trying to help him. There are plenty of actors, and strange personalities in the strangely cast film. In addition to Egg McMahon, there's also Lauren Landon, Maniac Cop, All the Marbles, The Stuff, Sanford and Sons, Demond Wilson, 1980 sitcom and Hollywood Square star Jim J. Bullock, Bob Saget, an early role as a sportscaster, and Pat Morita, the Karate Kid, as a silversmith. Cohen said that the film, it has some interesting ideas about how life in America has changed sexually and politically since the early 60s. All of Arkin's friends have changed, but he hasn't, whereas he changes into a werewolf all of the time. His friends change into middle-aged people while he's gone, with different values and different ideas. They change as much as he does, actually. Where most of Larry Cohen's films succeed in spite of their high concept and low budget, Full Moon High was a bit of a struggle for me. That said, Alan Arkin is great in this and elevates every scene he's in. Shout Factory is finally releasing this film on Blu-ray. It has been available in gray market form for a while, but it's getting their full treatment and comes out on April 10th, complete with plenty of extras. Alrighty. I am getting blind, so I had to have it closer to my face. So, gentlemen, I have one question. Are you ready to see what we're going to watch next?
Are we going to recommend the movie?
Are we going to recommend the movie? I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you recommend the movie?
Yeah.
Well, I recommended it. I said if you needed a movie for your date night to focus on your other things, then
I
would
figured
recommend
we
it.
already said whether or not we'd recommend it. So
No, he did.
I don't remember what I
but
said.
we actually fully did.
I'd
recommend it.
Okay.
Yeah.
As long as it's not Prey, we're good.
Just because it's Alan Arkin?
For her, yeah.
Adam Arkin makes me happy.
All right. Wheel of Death. Wheel of Death.
Let's make sure
Wheel
this
of
thing.
Death. Wheel of Torment. Turn. Show us the movie that we should burn.
Did it show?
Oh, we have a full wheel now.
If I see an Amityville movie on here, I'm
There
throwing it.
Hey, we finally got
chair
Rocky on there. Yay. Prey 2, The Woods. No. I can't make that episode. I vote for Rockula. There we go. Brain Damage. Dane Bramage. Is that the one with Alex Winter? $1988. Hey, I think they froze again. Dane Bramage. I guess I'll have to look this up and see what Dane Bramage is about. Okay. $1988 movie Brain Damage. What do we have? A young man discovers a disgusting parasite has attached itself to his brainstem. He becomes addicted to the psychedelic euphoria it produces, but in return, he must feed it human victims. Ooh, okay. So, who do we have in it? Anybody I know? Let's go to IMDb, shall we? Maybe not show my bald head on camera so much.
Well, if you keep doing that, we may get taken down because they may think it's a breast again.
It's a very hairy breast. I mean, I know I'm bald in the middle, but there's still hair there, and you know. I mean, I guess if I had like a big pimple on the top of my head, it would look like a nipple, but you know.
Yeah. Well, this does not look like the other one.
What does not look like the other one?
1988. So, this Brain Damage, the 1988 version. So, it is on Tubi. I shall share the link of BNS About Movies thing. And yeah, I don't know. We just have lack of able to stay on screen tonight. Thank you, Internet. But yeah, Brain Damage is from 1988. Let's see. What does it say? A young man discovers a disgusting parasite has attached itself to his brain. He becomes addicted to the psychedelic euphoria it produces, but in return, it must feed on its human victims. Have either of you seen this one?
I have not.
Does not sound. Other than sounding like another movie, it, I don't think I've seen this one.
Okay, so yeah. Then, okay, gentlemen. Ron, where do you want people to find you?
I have been trying to make more updates to my author page, Ronald W. Gillespie Jr. author, since I will be having a book release very, very soon. The exact date has not been determined yet, but I'm expecting very, very soon. So you
Yeah.
can check out updates on that page. And other than that, just find Friday and she'll find me.
Oh yeah, it is going to really soon. It's just a couple of the publishing sites are being jerks for absolutely no reason, and we are working on that. It's just it's frustrating that it's like, no, we don't like this, and it's like, what is wrong with it? It is good for everybody else. So yeah, I am not going to go into that rant. Okay, and then what about Hell's Dungeon and your character? Who are they coming to find?
This season, I am playing Crazy Cooter, Crazy Cooter's Cryptid Tours. So we got all kinds of crazy cryptids around here. And just make sure you stay on the path so that you don't end up as one of the missing hikers.
Okay. And while he helps Dante, I'll tell my part. Come find us Wednesday. We are interviewing Jeff Hartz of the Ohio Haunt Club on Chainers Filled with Secrets. Friday, you get to hear one of the brand new stories by Serena Mossgraves that is in one of the anthologies, Killing Stroke anthologies that we're all in, that's coming out. And you get to hear my newest death story and why you don't whistle in the woods on Friday. And what about you? Where can we find you?
Find her. Technically,
So
you find her,
simple,
you find everybody.
Pretty much, yeah. So simple, so easy.
Yeah.
Look for Friday. She can figure it out. Okay, guys. Thank you guys for being here. We'll meet again, same owl time in 2 weeks, same owl place and same owl time. And we look forward to finding out what we think about this movie. And if you want to tell us what you think, please leave us a review in the group and we will read it on air. As long as you're not a jerk or crude. We have to have limits. Please be respectful. If you like, and it's okay to say you don't like the movie and tell why you don't, but we can't be rude and disrespectful in the bad ways. Okay, guys. Thank you for being here. We shall see you next time. Good evening.
These are not the movies you are looking for. Or maybe they are.
I don't know. They may want to watch this movie.
Yeah.
One of us. One of us.